we come to a really unique part of our day where we get to both celebrate and recognize the amazing work that you're doing through our Customer Success Awards. So, how is this all going to work? Well, the awards are divided across 4 categories, and we've had over 60 customer entries across these categories. You're going to see some of them on screen now. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who submitted an entry this year. We've then taken these 60 entries and reduced them to just 3 shortlisted entries. Now, each of these shortlisted entries will receive an award at the front today. We're then going to take these entries and the winning category entries, and I'm going to announce the category entry, and we're going to then watch the winning video together. So it's my job to journey you through these shortlisted entries and announce our category winners. So, now that the practical stuff is out of the way, I want you to sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired by our amazing customer stories. And our first category is that of field mobility, where our shortlisted entries are UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, EDF Nuclear New Build, and Police Scotland. And we start quite literally in a field with UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, who since 1978 have been undertaking the British Countryside Survey. Now, in 2021, they used Suite to digitize and modernize their process and make it more intuitive for their surveyors in the field. Hinkley Point C is the first nuclear build in the UK since 1995. And they've been using ArcGIS apps, maps, and dashboards to provide transparency right across the project for their global supply chain. One of the significant events of 2021 was COP26, Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, where Police Scotland used ArcGIS field maps to ensure safety across the event, digitizing a previously paper-based process. Now, I'm really pleased to announce that the winner of our field mobility category is EDF Nuclear New Builds. So please join me as we watch the winning video and as our shortlisted entries collect their awards at the front of the stage here.
The project is massively complex. I mean, it's the first nuclear power station we've built in a generation. It involves a huge extended supply chain, and constructing it is a massive logistical challenge. You know, bringing 6,000 people onto a site every day to work on the project itself is a massive challenge. We're responsible for coordinating all of the construction effort that comes onto Hinkley and ensuring that every contractor works seamlessly with another. GIS and being able to use GIS to support the project is to help coordinate all of those resources coming into a pretty tight site and undertaking the work safely. I mean, one of our key values on the project is around clarity. You know, it's clarity of information. What's really key for me is that everyone's got the same picture in their head of what we're talking about. And there's nothing better than putting the GIS up on the screen and bringing a model up on the screen to make sure that people have all got the same mental picture of what we're talking about. Survey 123 and Collector are two really quite intuitive apps to use. I can say that because I'd consider myself a relatively inexperienced user. But one of the most important things that we do at Hinkley is ensure that we keep all our checks and balances. Previously, what we saw was that the teams were doing this in a very sort of manual method. That involved transferring information, putting it into spreadsheets, communicating in spreadsheets on PowerPoint reports. And what we'll be able to do now is allow those people to collect that information in the field, live, So once they have collected it, immediately it's appearing on desktops within dashboards. So there's a GIS team on site, and they work very closely with the individual teams, and they set them up so that when they go out into the field, they've got either their mobile phones or their tablets ready with the appropriate application on. Go to whatever survey point they're looking at, and very easily bring up the form, complete the form. They may take a photograph of what it is they're observing, and then they submit that form. So it's an incredibly simple process. If we give them the ability to collect information in the field, they're not wasting time in the back office, and the time that they're saving, they're able to focus more on actually doing their job. And there's currently over 850 people using GIS at Hinckley. So we're seeing more and more Tier 1 contractors come on board, which is opening up the accessibility to the information and allowing that collaboration, which is really key in any successful construction project. To receive this award is absolutely fantastic, and we're very grateful for that. The project is immense in itself, and to be recognised in this way is really good.
So please, can we have a round of applause for our category entries and our winner, EDF. Our second category is that of analytical insights, where our three shortlisted entries are Stantec, British Red Cross, and National Highways. Stantec have analysed every building in London to understand the water capacity needed to extinguish fires. Now, they're sharing this information with both fire services and water companies. British Red Cross have been protecting vulnerable people for over 150 years. And over the course of the pandemic, they undertook spatial analysis to understand which groups of people were particularly vulnerable to the impacts of the pandemic. And many of you will have seen this morning the really, truly innovative work that National Highways are doing, where they're asking themselves the question, what if we treated our spatial data the same way that we treat our physical assets? They're answering that question by using spatial analysis to provide an authoritative view of their road network. Now, I'm really pleased to announce that the winner of our Analytical Insights category is Stantec. So please join me as we watch their video and the shortlisted entries come to receive their awards.
Link between the water companies and understanding how much water was available from their water networks and the fire services also having that understanding, that link just didn't really exist. The work that we've done is really to create that live link between a water company and the fire services. The principal challenge is understanding what the fire flow requirements are for every individual building, and then can you actually meet those from the water supply system? The water companies in the UK do have a responsibility to be able to supply water to fight fires at buildings. To understand how much water is required to fight a fire at a building, we need to understand the attributes of the building. So what is the building being used for? How tall is it? And how big is it? And we can calculate how much water you need to fight a fire at any particular building. What we've done is built a digital city, effectively, in 3D. So we have all of those three attributes, models for every building in London, 1.7 million buildings. We layer that together with the computer models that we've built to simulate how the water supply system works.
One of the challenge was that, because London is quite, it's spread across the large area, and it has almost 164 water supply zones to deal with. Experience Builder provides a platform where you can combine 2D, 3D, and a custom application into multiple pages without writing a single code. The beauty about the Living Atlas is that it constantly get updated from the users.
We want to be able to represent the city in 2D and 3D because it's important to actually be able to see the representation of the building.
It gives the very rich experience for the user.
There is a tool in the application to actually the fire services can actually pick the point at which they're going to fight a fire, and then it will lay the hose reels out for them to the best hydrants to connect to, and they can access it in the fire engine en route. So it's not just in the dispatch centre.
Beauty about the Santec fire flow system is that now we know the fire flow requirement capacity of the different buildings in each London, and as part of the analysis we know which fire hydrants requires the maintenance.
We can't promise to stop disasters, but this provides additional support to the fire services to make things more effective.
So can we have a round of applause for our Analytical Insights category? Now we come to our third category, which is Map Creator, where our three shortlisted entries are Costain, Forth Rivers Trust, and Vodafone. Costain have created a map that acts as a gateway onto the company's spatial information, and that's driving both efficiencies but also collaboration across a variety of projects. Forth Rivers Trust have taken their catchment management plan and they've shared this as a story map, which is engaging stakeholders in a new interactive way. And finally, Vodafone have created a digital twin of the entire UK to understand the impact of the environment on network performance. So I'm pleased to announce that the winner of our Map Creator category is Vodafone. So please join me as we watch their video and they come to the side of the stage to receive their awards.
At Vodafone, we are a leading communications company, keeping society connected and building a digital future for everyone. We have 300 million mobile customers across 21 markets and 48 partner markets around the world. We have a real passion for innovation. Connecting our customers has always been a core mission for us. We've been at the forefront of 5G revolution. Across Europe, we have millions of mobile and broadband customers. Ultimately, we want to help build digital societies for the future by reducing operational inefficiencies and improving customer experience. At Vodafone, we believe one of the best ways to do this is through the creation of a digital twin. We have experience modeling our infrastructure assets and the environment in 3D. It has been really immersive, and from an operational point of view, it allows us to have a 360-degree view of the network and how it operates. After spending a great deal of investment and time working on modeling radio signal propagation and optimizing network performance in the field, it occurred to our team, what if we could create a digital twin for our connectivity across the UK? It would surely make our system more robust if we could scrutinize the topography of the environment and assessing the impacts of tree growth or new construction developments has on signal strength and network performance.
If you're using your mobile phone and the signal cuts out, it can be caused by clutter, which is buildings and trees, which change seasonally. We like to be able to visualise these things so that we can plan the network better around them. When I first started doing GIS, digital twin was not a possibility, but the technologies have developed so much that we can make it a reality now.
Using ArcGIS Enterprise and cloud infrastructure capabilities, we've been able to create something special. Building our 3D visualization and adding the relevant datasets was not an easy task.
We've added over 40 million environmental features, nearly 500,000 network features, giving us an unprecedented understanding of our entire UK network. With this level of detail, we can make decisions faster and with more accuracy. We can mitigate against obstructions and what we call clutter, empowering our engineers to deliver a more consistent service to our customers. Our engineers now have a significant amount of information at their fingertips, which means they aren't always needed to make field visits now, which saves time, cuts down on emissions, and creates greater operational efficiencies.
We have pledged to eliminate carbon emissions from our operations by 2027. With operational development and innovations like digital twins, we can achieve this. The business is excited by the maps that we have created and are eager to see how operational processes will dramatically improve our customer experience. Our customers are really important to us here at Vodafone, and we believe with the help of this new digital twin, we can continue to deliver fantastic service to our millions of customers.
So can we have a round of applause for our map creator category? Our final category is that of community engagement, where our shortlisted entries are Royal Holloway, University of London, Ramblers Scotland, and Thanet District Council. Now, Royal Holloway have created an Antarctica story map series for 11 to 14-year-olds studying geography. Now, this is both equipping teachers while also inspiring the next generation of geographers. Coming from Scotland, I know firsthand just how beautiful many of the walking paths are there. And Ramblers Scotland have used ArcGIS to both collect and map the best ever map of paths for Scotland. And finally, Thanet District Council, in response to the biodiversity and climate emergency, have used ArcGIS Hub to interact with the public and encourage biodiversity across the district. Now, I'm pleased to announce that the winner of our final category is Ramblers Scotland. So please come to the stage to receive your awards as we watch the video together.
So Ramblers Scotland is probably best known as a walking charity that works to protect and promote access rights and the joy of walking. Walking's a powerful thing, like whether that's in making memories with your family, getting active and a bit more healthy.
There's lots of places you can walk in Scotland, but there's not necessarily the resources available to show you where it is you can actually go.
We wanted to share Scotland's Path network with more people to get more people active, and the best way to do that was to create an inclusive tool that our volunteers could populate themselves. This is about bringing all the different data sources together in one place, audited for everyone to enjoy. And the wonderful thing about ArcGIS is it makes all that possible. One of the real big benefits for us was getting the volunteer hub, so it's a really accessible, easy platform that we can roll out at scale. We've got more than 220 volunteers right across Scotland, from Shetland right down to Dumfriesshire. So the first challenge for us was doing a test run. So we went to the west of Scotland and we pulled together data from about 12 different sources. We just wanted to get it on ArcGIS, see what it looked like, see what was there, and the results were amazing. We couldn't believe how many hidden trails suddenly emerged out of that data, and that gave us the confidence to go further across the nation.
The data we've gathered so far, we're looking at tens of thousands of miles of paths, and we've gathered possibly 2 to 3 additional thousand miles through volunteer participation.
This is quite a technical system, but we need to make sense to your average walker who can go out with the apps and give us really high quality data that we can then share and refine for others.
So using Hub Premium, we've been able to create a really easy to use and straightforward site for volunteers to use, and using that will provide them with everything that they need to take part in the project.
The numbers are really impressive, but what's really encouraging for us is how we've inspired communities to start recording their path networks, auditing and sharing them with others so more people right across Scotland can get active on foot.
Yeah, I'm really proud to work on this project because we've taken something which was essentially an idea and built it into something that's really big and growing to kind of produce something that's hopefully going to be of benefit to the whole country and help people get outdoors and more active.
This is the best ever map of Scotland's trails, and it's only going to get better as we expand and refine the data in the years to come. Our whole purpose is to link communities, so the idea that we're getting volunteers out on the ground through ArcGIS to make that happen is hugely encouraging.
So can we have a round of applause for our community engagement category? Now, in closing, I think one of the highlights of any conference is the chance to share our stories with each other. And I don't know about you, but for me this year, after almost 3 years of not being together in person, it has felt particularly inspiring. So I want to finish by saying thank you to each and every one of you who submitted an entry this year. And will you join me in giving both our shortlisted entries and category winners one final, well-deserved round of applause? Thank you.